Hi, this is Miss Rachel with the Otago Prattville Public Library. Today we're making our craft to go with Rapunzel's story time. So I hope you enjoyed having Princess Rapunzel visit. And now let's do our craft. So we've got our paper set up with a nice blue sky background. And we're going to use some wet glue and colors, markers, pencils, pens, crayons, whatever you want to decorate with. I have some scissors for just in case, and I have the yarn from the kit as well as the half toilet paper tube. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by tracing the sides of our toilet paper tube onto our paper so that we can see where we need to put our glue. So I'm just holding it down and drawing a line on each side. And now if you look real closely, you can see there's two lines, and that's where I'm going to put my wet glue. So I'll open up my glue and do one little line, two little lines, and I'm just going to smush my tube right over it so that the edge is sticking in the glue. You might have to wiggle it just a little bit to be sure it gets nice and ooey gluey. And then we're going to let it sit and dry. While that's drying, I'm going to play with Rapunzel's hair a little bit. I'm going to put her hair into a braid, I think, maybe even a couple braids. So let's scoot this so that it can dry. And if you want to do some braiding, you absolutely can. To make a braid, you need 3 strands side by side to start. And it's helpful if they're held down by something. So I have a little bit of tape here that I'm going to use to adhere the string to the desk just for a moment. And then basically what you're going to want to do is take the string on the left and cross it over the middle string, but not all the way over to the end. Then we're going to do the same thing with the right. We're going to take the string on the right, cross it over the middle string, but not go all the way over to the other far side. See how it kind of creates an X up top? We're going to keep doing that with the left to the middle and then the right to the middle. And you can just go as fast or as slow as you want. You can practice your patience with this because it does take a little bit of patience. And if you want, you can pull it really tight so that you have lots of twists in your braid, or you can leave it kind of loose. Mine's about medium, but you could do it even more loosely than this if you wanted, or even more tightly braided. It's totally up to you. And of course, I'm keeping my strings nice and long here because Rapunzel, did she have super short hair? No, she had long, long, long hair. So we're gonna finish up this braid while our glue is drying a little bit. You can take a break every now and then from your braiding to push down and make sure that there's a little bit of pressure on your tube so that it adheres nicely to the paper and stays stuck. And I'm just gonna keep on braiding until I get to the end of my shortest string, which I think is going to be this one. Here we go. And I'm going to leave a little bit of extra at the end so that I can tie it together. So let's do that part now. I'm going to scoot my whole braid up a little bit and just loop all 3 strands around my finger and then tuck all 3 strands back in through the loop I made. And pull them out through the loop and pull the knot tight. There we go. Now we can trim a little bit of this extra yarn down here just so the end of the braid looks uniform. We're going to do the same knot up top here. So I'm going to carefully peel off my tape. And you can either toss it or save it if you want to braid your other yarn strands. And again, I'm wrapping all 3 strands around my finger to make a loop. And then I'm taking all 3 strands and pushing them back through the loop, just like you're tying your shoes, kinda. And then pulling it tight into a knot. Awesome. There we go. I'm going to do one more thing with this braid. Instead of using all of my yarn, I'm going to use just this little bit that I trimmed off of here in addition to this part that I braided. And I'm going to put this in the middle, I think, to represent Rapunzel's bangs. She can have bangs, right? Why not? So we're going to tie a knot, again, like you're tying your shoes up here. And that way, when her hair hangs down, she's got hair on both sides of her head. And I can trim, or I can use, if you have a comb at home, you can use a comb to make the yarn kind of fringe out. And that will make her bangs look a little bit curly and frizzy, and we'll add a little bit to the fluffiness and the realism of her hair. If you don't have a comb, that's okay. You can kind of just pull the strands of the yarn apart like I'm doing right now. Now these, there we go. Now we've got them all separated out. Those are kind of long for bangs though, I think, for what I'm thinking for Rapunzel. So I'm going to go ahead and trim those too. I'm just going to press them down on my table so that I get them spread out nicely. And do a little bit of a cut. Now I'm not a professional hair cutter of Rapunzel's bangs, so this is kind of like a COVID haircut for Rapunzel, but she'll be okay. There we go, that looks cute. So now all that's left is to add Rapunzel. I would like to see her up in her tower, I think. And she's gonna be just barely peeking out, I think. But with her hair kind of hanging out down from the side. So I'm just situating the yarn right now so I can see what it's gonna look like. I like that. So now I can go ahead and draw in Rapunzel. Now I'm not a super great artist, so Rapunzel's gonna be a smiley face, you guys. I hope you can handle that. But if you have stickers, you can use those as well. If you have magnificent drawing abilities, you can absolutely use those. And I think I'll draw the point of her tower as well. Kind of like we did in our STEM activity. And then I'll put a little arch here where Rapunzel's looking at. This is her window. Okay, so let's draw her smiley face. Give her some eyelashes. A nice big smile. And then we'll just glue her hair on. Now, this is the part where you guys really get to use your imagination, because you can add all sorts of decoration and embellishments and background. You could put a whole story in this extra space outside of Rapunzel's tower, and you can show why Rapunzel's so excited, why she wants to get out of her tower so much so she can go see the world. You can put all those exciting details in by using your imagination and your creativity. And there we go. You've got her hair attached. You can just barely see her eyes peeking out. I think I still kept her bangs a little bit too long, but that's okay. And I'm gonna keep this sitting flat for a while, so go ahead and let the glue dry. But that is the gist of this craft. And I would love to see if you have extra paper, you can cut out clouds or some sunshine, all sorts of things like that. I would love to see what you create. So please send me pictures of your Rapunzel creations, and I hope you guys have a lovely day. Bye.